Aryna Sabalenka repeats as Women's U.S. Open champion with a straight sets victory over American Amanda Anisimova. What we covered here. Sabalenka is the champion again. Aryna Sabalenka repeats as U.S. Open's women's champion with a straight sets 6-3, 7-6, 3 victory over American Amanda Anisimova. Anisimova fights hard in a dramatic final. After a disappointing performance at Wimbledon, the American challenger forced the second set to a tiebreaker in a dramatic burst of energy, but in the end the Belarusian was too much to overcome. Sabalenka ends the Grand Slam season on a high. After being denied in Melbourne, Paris and London, the world number 1 captures the US Open title again to end the season with a Grand Slam victory for the ages. The Queen of Queens, Aryna Sabalenka repeats as US Open champ with straight sets win. Aryna Sabalenka faced disappointment all over the world this year, from Melbourne to Paris to London. Her play was consistently strong, but in the biggest matches, on the Grand Slam stages, she couldn't get it done. But for Sabalenka and for so many millions of others around the world, New York is just different. Maybe that's why she's ending this Grand Slam season with her second straight US Open championship. Playing in her third Grand Slam final of the year, Sabalenka was hardly perturbed when the boisterous crowd at Arthur Ashe Stadium roared on Amanda Anisimova's last-ditch surge in the second set of this US Open final. The American showed enormous fight once Sabalenka got herself within a game of a cruise-control straight sets victory. Down 5-3 in the second set, Anisimova charged and won 3 straight games, threatening to take Sabalenka down to the wire in a decisive third set after the Belarusian breezed 6-3 through the opener. But unlike when she wilted on Roland Garros clay against Coco Gauff, Sabalenka hardly blinked. She held her serve and forced a tiebreaker to decide the second set, taking the air out of a closed-roofed Arthur Ashe. In the tiebreaker, she grabbed control quickly and never let go, eventually watching one last Anisimova errant backhand float wide. The world number 1 collapsed to the ground in exultation, putting her head in her hands and taking a few moments to herself amid the cheers in Queens. She said she was speechless after the match, a clearly emotional victory at the end of a season that challenged her at every turn. All those tough lessons with this one, she said on court after the match. For Anisimova, it's a second straight heartbreak in a Grand Slam final, but one that will bring back fonder memories than her collapse at Wimbledon. As the 24-year-old gets used to playing under the harsh spotlight of Grand Slam finals, she'll have to find a way to iron out the errors in her game. She committed 29 unforced errors and double-faulted 7 times, though she hit 22 winners as well. She seemed to struggle with playing under the stadium's roof, gesturing multiple times at the ceiling after failing to get in a serve. But when the chips were down, she played her best. The scintillating end to the second set made Arthur Ashe sound more like a hairdryer than a tennis stadium as New York rallied around her. Playing not far from where she grew up in New Jersey, Anisimova was a crowd favorite the whole way. It's been an incredible fortnight and I absolutely love playing here. It's always been a dream of mine to play in the finals at the US Open. So big thank you to everyone at the US Open that made this happen, Anisimova added. Come back tomorrow for live updates from Sunday's men's final between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner as championship weekend at the US Open draws to a close. On a balmy September evening under the glittering lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, Aryna Sabalenka raised her arms to the roaring crowd, a golden smile stretched across her face. The scoreboard glared her triumph, a straight sets victory over American prodigy Amanda Anisimova, cementing Sabalenka's status as a back-to-back US Open champion. The moment was historic, yes, but more than that, it felt like destiny fulfilled. Sabalenka didn't just win, she dominated. With each thunderous serve and fearless forehand, she reminded the world why she is the embodiment of power tennis. Yet, there was grace in her destruction. Her movements were sharp, her intensity unwavering, but she celebrated each winner with quiet confidence rather than bravado. In front of a packed stadium of patriotic New Yorkers hoping for an Anisimova fairy tale, Sabalenka silenced the doubters and etched her name even deeper into tennis lore. The final that promised fireworks. Anisimova's run to the final was a storybook narrative in itself. The 24-year-old American, whose career has been a roller coaster of brilliance and heartbreak, entered this match as the underdog but with the kind of fearless game that thrives under pressure. She had dismantled top seeds on her way to the championship bout, her fluid backhand drawing gasps from the crowd and praise from legends of the game. Sabalenka, however, came in as the seasoned warrior. Already a reigning champion and a world number one, she carried the aura of inevitability. Her game plan was clear: dictate from the baseline, crush returns, and never let Anisimova settle into rhythm. The first set was a masterclass. Sabalenka opened with two blistering aces, each met with a mix of awe and groans from the home crowd. Anisimova, nerves crackling beneath her composed exterior, fought valiantly but couldn't withstand the barrage. Sabalenka's returns came at her like cannon fire, and within 30 minutes, the set was Sabalenka's, 6-3. The American hope fights back. The second set brought a flicker of drama, a reminder of why finals are never over until the last point is won. Anisimova broke Sabalenka's serve early, sending the crowd into a frenzy. For a brief moment, it felt like momentum had shifted, like the young American was ready to seize her Cinderella moment. But Sabalenka thrives on adversity. The break seemed to ignite her fury rather than rattle her confidence. She stormed back with 3 consecutive games, her serves clocking in over 120 miles per hour, her forehands finding impossible angles. Each winner felt like a declaration: I am the champion, and I'm not done yet. The crowd, to their credit, began to appreciate the artistry of Sabalenka's power. She wasn't just hitting hard, she was painting the lines with surgical precision, her footwork nimble and her strategy impeccable. Anisimova tried to keep pace, showcasing her elegant backhand and soft hands at the net, but Sabalenka was relentless. At 5-4, serving for the championship, she hit 3 consecutive aces and sealed the title with a scorching forehand winner down the line. A champion's poise. Sabalenka fell to her knees, fists clenched, eyes brimming with tears. For all her power and intensity, the moment revealed her humanity. Winning a Grand Slam once is monumental. Defending it successfully? That's the stuff of legends. I've worked so hard for this, Sabalenka said in her post-match speech, voice breaking with emotion. Last year felt like a dream, but this year, this feels real. To come back here and defend my title, it means everything. The crowd, initially desperate for an American champion, rose to their feet in admiration. Sabalenka's reign wasn't just about strength, it was about resilience, consistency, and evolution.